Welcome to episode 100 of the Sisters in Loss podcast. Can you believe it? We have made it to 100 episodes. How crazy is that? Almost 2 years ago, in August of 2017, this podcast has launched and we are here 100 episodes later. I am excited to bring to you this 100th bonus episode, just special episode where I'm going to get on the mic and share a little bit about what has been going on with your girl, what is happening with Sisters in Loss, and what are my plans as we go forward for the rest of 2019. So if you have not listened to the Sisters in Loss podcast episode and this is your first time listening, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are a listener that has been here for a while or just found out about me but have not rated or reviewed the podcast, press pause and please go and rate and review the podcast. This is how others find out about us, and then it lets me know what I need to improve on with each and every episode. So stay tuned as we dig deep into what's been going on with your girl and what is in store for the next 100 episodes. So I wanted to begin the podcast by sharing a little bit about the month of May. I started out the month in Cancun, Mexico at the MTY retreat, which is held by Myleik Teele, who is the founder and Chief Experience Officer, I love that, of CurlBOX, which is a monthly subscription box of natural hair products for curly women, mainly for women of color and Black women. And I had the time of my life, to say the least. I went into that trip with no expectations. I was open to just receive, to be in the moment, to just feel all the feels of being there. And I did not post a lot of pictures throughout the retreat. And really, to be honest with you, I did not take a lot of pictures throughout the retreat. The most pictures I took was like on the last day, the last full day that we had. And I had met an actual aspiring photographer and she took a lot of pictures of me. But I really wanted to take in the moment. I really wanted to take everything in and just be present and just really get to know some of the people that I love offline or online. And I wanted to actually have conversations with them offline, which I was able to do. And I believe that I went into it with the thought of just, God, put me in the path of the women here today that you want me to connect with. And I believe God did just that. So for those of you who have asked, how was the MTY retreat, Erica? It was amazing. I mean, I enjoyed every bit of it. It was pricey. So for those of you who are interested in going, I know Myleik is going to have another one in 2021. And it will be something that you would have to probably pay in full. So luckily we have payment plan options for this retreat, but in the next retreat that will not be an option. So go ahead and put your coins aside and save your money for the next MTY retreat, as well as when those applications drop to apply for it. So it's going to run you between $4,000 and $6,000. And that's just the actual retreat portion. That does not include your flight there and any other incidentals you may have while you're in Mexico. So as far as my takeaways from the retreat, besides the connections that I made with a lot of my favorite podcasters, Nicaila Matthews-Okome from Side Hustle Pro, who is my podcast coach, she was there and I was actually able to meet her in person and talk to her and have lunch with her. Sarita Chavez from the Wine Life podcast, she also was there. I actually sat down and talked to Nasima from Financially Intentional, her Instagram account, and she is an inspiring podcaster, as well as Jamila Sufrat, who is a podcast host of Journey to Launch. So as you can see, I talked to a lot of podcasters just mainly because I wanted to get in their ear, talk to them about what they have going on. You know, Kayla and Jamila are doing this full time, and that's something that I ultimately want to do, be able to support not only, myself, this podcast brand, this sisters-in-law's friend, but also to be able to support my family in that manner as well. So it was good to be able to break bread, talk to those ladies offline, see what they have going on, what's next in their own personal journeys, and really just get poured into on how I can continue to grow Sisters-in-Law so it can be a full-time endeavor for me. Another takeaway from the podcast was all of the talks that we had. On Sunday, we sat down and actually had like master classes. Saturday night, we had a master class session with Yvonne Orji, and she really talked about her journey, how she got to Insecure, that whole audition process, and which really took us on that journey. It was really an intimate session, just really getting to know Yvonne on a deeper level and really her thought process on just success and how she's, how she is overcoming just the fears and anxieties that she has as she is someone who is known or, somewhat known for millennials, Black millennials in general. So she talked a lot about that. And then on Sunday, which is my favorite day, we actually had a day session where we had master classes with Debbie Brown, Morgan Devon, and then Myleik did a Q&A and talking about edges snatched and wigs coming off. Like they snatched all of my edges. I especially love Debbie's talk. She talked about purpose and how purpose is a lifelong journey. She challenged us to make a mission statement for our lives. What are those 4 pillars that we are going to make a foundation of our mission statement, whether it's family, loyalty, intimacy, adventure, and then how we are going to put your life's mission into those 4 pillars and why. So what does that mean? She then also gave us a quick rundown of crystals. She gifted us some crystals that Myleik personally chose for the attendees there. And she broke down exactly what those crystals meant and how we should meditate with them. She started out her talk with the meditation. I meant to bring that up about us removing all of the labels that we have: mom, wife, daughter, son, podcaster, and really who are we without all of those labels, without all those titles. And it was so powerful, such a great meditation. And I could have heard her talk for another 45 minutes to an hour because she was just pouring out and I was open, ready to receive, taking notes while she was talking. Morgan is a little firehouse. She's so little and petite, but she is a boss. You hear me? I don't know if you all know who Morgan is. Morgan DeBond is the founder and CEO, or one of the co-founders and CEO of Blavity, which is a news site for millennials. She also hosts the Afro Tech Conference, which is the largest Black tech conference that's held in between San Francisco. And I think this year they're having it in Oakland. And then, of course, she has acquired a few companies, Travel Noir, Shadow and Act. And she also hosts a women's conference called 2190 Summit that happens every year in Atlanta. So she got up there and basically was like, y'all need to run y'all's receipts and tell people about the successes that you have. You need to brag on yourself more. And then she talked about breaking down our goals for the year and how is our calendars every day aligning with our overall goals. So we can say we want to make however much income a year, but if our calendar isn't showing us actually doing the work, then how are we going to make that income? She also talked about how we need to break down our tasks from CEO tasks to operating tasks. As a CEO, we should be setting a vision for the company versus operating tasks or tasks that you should be delegating down to your organization or delegating out to like freelancers or people who actually work for you. So it's almost like for those of you who listen to a lot of business podcasts, working on your business versus in your business. And she talked a lot about that and what we are going to do to make rapid changes, not step incremental changes, but rapid changes to get to where we need to go. And that's the only way companies are successful is by those rapid changes, rapid step change moments versus your incremental steps. So for me, really what that spoke to me about is, where do I want to take Sisters in Loss in the next 100 episodes? Because I was like, oh, well, I've been doing this brunch this last 2 years. Last year I had it in Virginia Beach area. This year I had it in DC. And I want to make the brunch into a conference weekend where it is a full-fledged conference. And do you know how much doubt and fear that I have with making the Sisters in Loss brunch that I have every April into a conference? But Morgan slashed my fear. She was just like, girl, like, if this is what you want to do, if this is going to serve your community, if this is what your community wants and needs, do it. So I'm going to do it. I'm going for it. I actually, as I'm recording this podcast, we have a conference call with my conference planning committee, and we are going to do it. So stay tuned to more details about a Sisters in Loss conference in 2020, the dates, the location, all of that jazz. You all will be the first to know. But I am going to drop the deets first, really, on my email list. So if you aren't a part of the Sisters in Loss community in email, go to sistersinloss.com or go to ericaandmcafee.com and sign up for my email list. I'm going to drop all the details there first before I bring it on the podcast on, folks who want to volunteer, vendors, sponsors, all of the details. Today's podcast episode is sponsored by Living Waters Doula Services. Out of her belly will flow rivers of living water. Rivers carry life and bring it forth to those who need it. I am excited to begin offering Living Waters Doula Services to my sisters in loss. What is a doula? A doula is a non-clinically trained support person who provides emotional, physical, and informational assistance before, during, and after childbirth. My goal as your doula is to help you heal, remove anxiety and fear, and find peace and hope on your infertility and pregnancy journey. If you are currently trying to conceive and would like fertility support, if you are currently pregnant after loss, or if you want grief support for your recent loss, I'm available to share space with you as your doula and support you on this journey. For more details about Living Waters Doula Services, visit ericammcafee.com/doula. That is ericammcafee.com/DOULA. I'm excited to share space with you. So from the MTY conference or retreat weekend, I ended up speaking at my church for Mother's Day, which was awesome. God definitely blessed and used me as a vessel to speak to the women. I will post that episode in the near future of my actual sermon that I preached during that time frame. And then the following weekend, I spoke at the Momference. So I wanted to talk about the Momference for a minute as well. So 500 plus Black millennial mothers in one space was such a sight to see. I had already felt overjoyed and didn't really have the words to articulate the MTY retreat because it was a little bit more intimate with like 130 women. But 500 women, OMG, like we were in there. We were up early, dancing, saying hi, stepping in our heels, slay to the gods. I mean, women, you cannot outdo Black women. We were doing our thing. And what I loved most about the Momference was just the level of excellence that they put on. If I hadn't learned anything from Myleik at the MTY retreat, was that you have to bring your A game at everything you do. The Momference solidified that. It was just like, oh, this is how we do. This is what we do when we put on conferences. Like, we slay. We come here with not holding anything back. So from all of the different props and backgrounds for picture taking to the music the DJ played through out the entire floor, the Pamper Suite, the pregnancy and infant loss memorial that they did, that Anissa did, to all of the details down to the pins, y'all. To the pins, y'all. It said Momference on it. It was so well executed. I enjoyed myself. All the speakers had front row seats, so I was right up close and personal with everyone that spoke there. And I can't say anything more than just job well done to the Momference planning team. If you were not there last year, get there next year. It's sold out, I want to say within 48 to 72 hours. So if you were not there, definitely get there. And if you don't want to come to the DC area in May, you can come to the Sisters in Loss conference that's going to happen in April. So that's just a sidebar. But the Momference was everything that I didn't think I needed, plus more. I made some divine connections with some amazing ladies and met a lot of you all who were there in the room. And I'm so happy that you all came up to me and spoke to me. Girl, I'm just like y'all. Nobody special in that regard. I'm just human, just like everybody else. And I just love meeting and talking to you all wherever you go. So speaking of that, I am excited to speak this summer a little bit of everywhere. So if you are in New York City, if you're in Atlanta, if you are in Denver, if you are in California, Los Angeles, mainly Anaheim, come see me. I want to see you. I want to have meetups at these places that I'm traveling to. I would love to have an opportunity to break bread, to hug your neck, to just talk about your journey, your experiences, your stories, and really how Sisters in Loss can help you on this next phase of your journey, your grief journey, your healing journey, your journey to motherhood. So I posted my speaking schedule, and I will continue to post it as new opportunities come so that we can find an opportunity to connect offline, because I love the community that we've built at sistersinloss.com. And I know that we will continue to build as this community grows larger, bigger, stronger in numbers, and more empowered to continue to take on this journey of healing and sharing our stories to remove the silence and the stigma and the shame around infant loss and infertility. So, 100 episodes. What is next for Sisters in Loss? The next thing is more episodes, more of you sharing your story and journey. I want the Sisters in Loss brand to grow into a media company where we are the premier media outlet for Black women who have faced infant loss and infertility. That means more video, that means magazines, digital, print, that means documentaries, that means movies, more podcasts, radio shows, even a TV show. Like God has given me a vision to take this to the next level. And I hope and pray that you all are continuing to be inspired, continue to feel motivated to take one step, put one step and foot in front of the other, and carry on about your day as you listen to each and every episode, each and every story, each and every journey to motherhood. So what can you do to help? You can continue to listen, continue to rate and review the podcast, and to also join our Facebook community, our private group on Facebook, where we post everything, things that we're feeling down about, things that we may be triggered by. All of the above is in our Facebook community. And I am so happy that you all have allowed me into your hearts, into your minds, and into, of course, your phones or your computers as you're listening into this, but also as my friend. I feel like this community has grown into my sisters, my close friends, and I am so blessed and so grateful for your listenership, your friendship, and your sisterhood. So until next time, I pray that you all have a blessed week, and I will see you all in the Facebook community at sistersinloss.com.